New study out by Plus One. This is conducted by Dr. Kerry O'Brien. He's a professor of behavioral studies at Australia's Monash University, and he looked at symbolic racism and how it relates to white gun owners in America. And he found some interesting results. Now, look, you can argue about the results, as I'm going to give you the methodology of the study in a second. But first, he claims that for every 1 point increase in symbolic racism, there was a 50% increase in the odds of having a gun at home. So the more racist you were, the more likely you were to have a gun at home. That's fascinating if you believe the study and the methodology. Now, he controlled for many different factors. So he controlled for party affiliation, ideology, even controlled for whether you lived in the South. So he's not taking those into account. He's saying when you take those out, still, if you're more racist, more likely to have a gun at home. It doesn't mean that if you have a gun at home, you're racist. It doesn't mean that, okay? Just giving you correlations here. He also found that a 28% increase in support for permits to carry concealed handguns if there was a 1 point increase in symbolic racism. So now, look, a lot of people believe that you should have a permit to carry a concealed handgun. Doesn't mean that they're racist. He's just saying that he found this correlation. Now, is it true or not? Well, he would ask questions like this. He would say, generations of slavery and discrimination have created conditions that make it difficult for blacks to work their way out of lower class. Now, I look at that and I think that's true, but I think, a lot of people would say that it's not true. I think they're totally wrong, but I'm not sure that makes them racist. And he's putting that as an indication that you might be subconsciously racist. So I don't know that that's fair, right? So now look, there was more clear questions like how well does the word violent describe most blacks? Now, if a lot of people said in the way that he calculated this, well, violent equals blacks, well, then I would agree with his study more. But it turns out in that particular question, that did not affect whether you owned a gun or not, and that was clearly the most racist question. And so the most racist question did not get that result. So that's fascinating. So big grain of salt there, okay? And his theory on that is that, look, people don't want to overtly say it. Instead, they let you know through other answers. So one more question that he gave, he said, it's really a matter of some people not trying hard enough. If blacks would only try harder, they could be just as well off as whites. And he said, do you agree with that? Now, look, again, that's incredible nuance there. I think that it is harder for an African American than it is for a white person on average because of the history and the context that the community has grown up in. Now, if you are in a different context, you're not in the average, well, okay, then it might not be any harder at all. But to say to someone who thinks, hey, you know what, it doesn't matter, if you just try hard enough, anybody can make it out. I think a lot of Americans believe that, and I don't think they're necessarily racist. So it's an interesting study, but I wouldn't put too much faith in it. And our fun graphic notwithstanding, it doesn't mean that if you own a gun that you're a racist. So now you know the whole story and take it for what it's worth.